Ladies and gentlemen, movie fans all around the world, before I get into talking about what I'm about to talk about, I just want to share with you guys a piece of scripture. It comes from Mark 12, 1 to 11. So I'd like you guys to go check it out. Alright? Now on to Wonder Woman. This is one day and a couple hours after the Wonder Woman trailer, the new Wonder Woman trailer came out. And I think this is enough trailers for Wonder Woman. I think Warner Brothers needs to just back off. Don't do a whole set of short bits or short clips from the movie as you approach movie time, even though most movies are doing that now. But this is it. This should be the trailer that they use TV bite samples from, and they can use from other samples before. I'm glad they didn't reveal the villain. I think they did an excellent job with this trailer. I think the teaser actually was much more powerful than the trailer, in the sense that the teaser really got me super duper 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 amped. I was dying to see the trailer. And then the trailer was kind of anticlimactic because of the music. Music didn't pump and pulse. And I think that trailer is where you need to stop with this movie, because if the movie's better than the trailer, this particular trailer, it's going to really amp people, and people are just going to call other people to go see this movie in the cinemas. So it's very important. Now this is very, very important that Warner Brothers gets the storyline of this movie and the flow of this movie right. Okay, it needs to be in a flow that people can easily follow and accept. It needs to be, the trailers have really done an excellent job of showing continuity, a certain kind of flow, a certain kind of style that Patty Jenkins has. I'm praying to God Warner Brothers does not tamper with Patty Jenkins' vision, that it allows her to do what she's supposed to do. I'm hoping that this movie has a lot of connective tissue and flow. It needs to have the proper flow, because children need to be able to see it. Families need to be able to see it. It needs to still have that realism, which I realize it has not compromised, and I'm so happy about that. I think there's a lot of value systems that are going to be pumped into people's minds. There's also going to be a lot of things reflective of our world pumped into people's minds. But this movie is so critical because we're at a time now where feminism is seen as negative, and also equality is seen as negative. We have a political regime in the United States which is sort of castigating women and putting down women, at least a president who has spoken very, very vilely of women and very disrespectfully. So it's very important this movie hits all the stops, says what it really has to say in a fluent way. It needs to be clear on what it's saying. It needs to be fluent in what it's saying. I think it is. I think from everything that we've seen of this movie, it seems to be that kind of movie, and that would be great. I'm not looking for the critics' approval on this movie, but it will really be a huge plus if the critics are really behind this movie. That would change a lot of things. So, the DCEU is still young and it's still growing. We'll see if they can get Wonder Woman right, at least the story. I know I'm going to be going watching this movie about 10 or 12 times. I went and watched BVS like 12 times, I think. I went and watched Suicide Squad 3 or 4 times. Suicide Squad didn't appeal to me as much because the storyline wasn't as strong. Since this is an original movie, the storyline is going to be rich and it's going to be pretty strong, I think. We'll see. It looks very epic. It's very colorful when you look at Themyscira. When you look at the Wonder Woman herself, she's sort of colorful, but you notice that when she gets into the world of where she's going to fight in World War One, it gets dark. Now, there's some really impressive action scenes in this movie that I've never seen women, period, in movies do, and just the moves in the movie are also ridiculously impressive. It seems that Wonder Woman can somehow move through space. I don't know how yet, but we'll find out in time. I don't think she can fly, but I think it seems as though they're keeping with the mythos that she can glide through the air with the bracelets and the stuff that she has on her feet. Okay, very, very impressive movie. Gal Gadot encapsulates everything I can think of that Wonder Woman represents. A lot of people are talking about how she sounds wooden. I don't find she sounds wooden. I just find she sounds very, she has a very peaceful sort of sounding voice. but obviously when she yells and screams and stuff, she's like a warrior. And I was watching a Jodie's Corner, and Jodie said something that was very true. It seems as though Wonder Woman, they wanted to breed her to be a fierce warrior, but she didn't seem to have those attributes. She seemed to be a very caring person at the core. She does what needs to be done, but she's a caring person at the core. She's kind of soft-spoken. And there are versions of Wonder Woman that are like this. A lot of people think Wonder Woman should be a big-breasted woman who says, "I am Wonder Woman, hear me roar!" You know, that kind of Xena warrior princess nonsense, which I'm really not for. I'm glad that Gal Gadot is not that kind of person. That she's a killer, but she's also got this almost sweet, innocent, soft-spoken, feminine voice. Yet she can just change from that into something else in the blink of an eye. She could just be vicious, like a killer. You know what I'm saying? So I think that this Wonder Woman has so much dimension to her, captured on any screen, whether it's television, animation, or even live action. I think this Wonder Woman is going to encapsulate a lot more than any other Wonder Woman before her. I pretty much can see it. The dimensions of her are just ridiculous already. Gal Gadot, they say she's wooden. I just don't see it. I see so much dimension to her. I agree with Jodie. This is going to be a Wonder Woman kind of like Christopher Reeves. If you look at Christopher Reeves' Superman, he was also a soft-spoken kind of guy. And then he'd take charge and become the Superman. You know what I mean? And I think this is the early goings for Wonder Woman. This is an origin film. And clearly Gal Gadot has a heavy voice. I don't know if people know that. She has a kind of raspy, heavy voice. But she can be very sweet and gentle at the same time. And these are sort of values and encapsulation of values, nurturing values that you see in women. Men don't tend to be sweet and kind and encapsulated. You don't think of that when you think of a man. And yet Superman is like that as well, in his own way. So I think that this Wonder Woman, I think they have it. I think they got it. They just need to do two very important things. Do not give away the story of the movie. And I'm not going to go looking for spoilers of it anyway. And the second thing is, I'm glad they didn't give away the villain. Do not give away the villain for this movie. Do just like what you did with Suicide Squad. Don't give away the villain. And the other thing that's very, very important, which made Suicide Squad a killer movie, but they still kind of messed it up, is you need to have fluency and continuity. This is not a movie that is schizophrenic like Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad could get away with that because it was schizophrenic. Batman v Superman could get away with it because Batman v Superman is a sequel to Man of Steel, right? Wonder Woman's not a sequel at all. This is a completely original film. You know, Superman wasn't around, Batman wasn't around. I don't know if Aquaman was around. I don't know. We have to see his origin film first. He probably could have been around. But Wonder Woman was, the formation of Wonder Woman is thousands of years old. Okay, she's thousands of years old. She came to the world scene in World War I. But she's thousands of years old. And the backstory to Wonder Woman is going to be very, very interesting because you're going to see how everything fits in. When we look at the trailer, you see Hippolyta, who is supposed to be her mother. She's saying to her that, this precious gift, this sword, which is a god-killer sword. It's a sword that can kill gods. It's only to be wielded by the most vicious and the most, powerful of the Themyscians, okay, or Wonder Woman or Amazon women. And you can see that Amazon warriors, and she says that you, Diana, are not that. So she's pretty much protecting Diana, and it seems as though Diana, like Jodie was saying, she has qualities which just will not work for her if she's just a warrior. And these warriors, if you know about the Wonder Woman or the Amazons or the Themyscians, they are really sworn to protect the earth from Ares, who is Zeus's son. Okay, Ares is the god of war, and they're really preparing to fight Ares. Now, there's a lot about this movie that I do not know. Like when they say she must never know who she is, that's kind of crazy. Because that immediately makes us say, well, who is Wonder Woman? Where did she actually come from? Because this is an origin film. And apparently she doesn't come from clay like the story used to be in the old stories. It seems it's a revised version. Now, I heard Wonder Woman in one of the trailers or teaser trailers when she said that she was the daughter of Zeus. Zeus is her father. And she was created from Zeus. Zeus created her. So she knows that information. Is that true information? Is that false information? There's so much to find out. This story has a lot to it than just what meets the eye, and that's what I'm glad about. And I'm hoping that nobody reveals the story, that Warner Brothers keeps on doing what they do. I don't care about the people who tried to spoil the story or they said they know the spoilers. I don't really care about them. I'm not going to go watch it. If I find out, if I'm looking online and I see information about Wonder Woman that I'm not supposed to see, or I'm about to read, or they say spoilers, I'm not going to read any spoilers because I don't want this movie spoiled for me. I want to go into the cinema and I want to go watch this movie and get carried by the story and let the story take me wheresoever it will. And I'm really hoping that the story that they tell is fluent. I can't express that enough. It needs to be something that builds on something, and it needs to be very, very easy to follow. It must be a story that takes you in, draws you into it, and carries you on this journey. It's important that it's followed. It doesn't have to be a simple story, but it needs to be something that you can follow, children can follow, they're not confused by anything. So once that's the case, it mustn't be over simplistic, obviously. It must be something, though, that's followable. So whatever you're putting in the story and you're trying to get people to get, people must be able to get it. And not saying that you mustn't have subtlety in the film and so on, but the forefront part of the storytelling needs to be very clear. And yes, we've seen Christopher Reeve's Superman, and this does remind us a bit about Christopher Reeve's Superman, both in the costuming and also in the kind of characterization of the characters, the mixture of comedy and seriousness. Obviously, this film is going to have a lot of dramatic moments. It's also going to have a lot of action. It's also going to have a lot of comedy. Okay, the comedy will be situational comedy, which is what Warner Brothers tends to exploit a lot. So I expect that this movie, it's going to be a dark movie because Wonder Woman, she turns very sarcastic about being a hero. So something happened that made her change her mind. She said, "I used to want to be a hero." So she wasn't. Something happened in the film that's very tragic that made her not want to be a hero anymore and sort of go into hiding. And we're going to find out a lot about that. And what's interesting is maybe Justice League will also sort of touch on how she reaffirms herself and addresses the issues that she had in her origin story, so that she pushes forward to be that hero, to be that protector of Earth again and mankind. So we're going to find out all about that in this story. It's probably going to be a tragedy story by the end of it. And I believe that how Patty Jenkins tells this story will really help us all to appreciate Wonder Woman in the present. So I'm looking forward to that. But once they don't give away the story, once they have fluent stories, I keep on stressing it over and over, it needs to be fluent. It can't be just this hodgepodge of different scenes put together. It can't just be a montage of scenes. It must be connectable. It must have a story that's connectable. It must have a strong ending. An ending that makes people think, oh yes, it couldn't go any other way, because it's going to be a tragedy. It's going to end up being sad at the end. Right? And then she may fast forward to the present again and show how it's beautiful and how it helped her to be what she is now. But it's very important for you to understand that they have to get this story right. They cannot do like Man of Steel and get a weak ending. Man of Steel had a weak ending, had an ending that was controversial, but it was weak. They can't afford to do that with Wonder Woman. It has to be an impactful, dramatic ending. That's not over dramatic. It mustn't be melodramatic. It must be something which is believable, that people, without a shadow of doubt, believe this was the best. This is what all Wonder Woman could do, and they understand now why she was so apprehensive about being a hero and in the forefront of the world. So, and then now they see how she's kind of overcome that once again through Bruce Wayne, and she's moving about her business. Because clearly, all the people in her life from back then, they're dead and gone. Whether they've grown old, whether they've died, they were killed in battle, whatever. We'll know about this soon enough. And hopefully, the villain that's in this movie turns out to be a really good villain. This is another very important thing that will make Wonder Woman good. And it doesn't have to be a good villain in the sense of, violent, a killer. No. We mean a threat and someone who really was able to hurt Wonder Woman and hurt the world at the same time. And cause her to really turn from wanting to just be this forefront hero for the world. So, we know Ares is the villain. He's the god of war. And I could think of 100 million different ways how he manipulates the situation so that Princess Diana is discouraged and she goes into hiding. I can see how that is possible. But we'll see what the story is all about. But it does give me... The story, especially in Themyscira, it reminds me a lot of the film Gladiator for some reason. I don't know why. And the way how Diana moves and how those Amazonians move, man, they convince me they're warriors. Like, there's no other way. It's the brutality of their movements and etc. These guys, these warriors don't play. You know what I mean? So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to watching this movie so many times. I mean, I've watched the teaser, I've watched the trailer so many times already. I'm totally into this Wonder Woman movie. When it comes out June 2nd, I will be there to watch this movie. I definitely will. I loved all the DCEU movies so far. But in order of how I love them, I liked BVS the most. The Ultimate Cut, of course. Not the theatrical as much. I don't really like the theatrical cut that much anymore. Now I've seen the Ultimate Cut. I go with the Ultimate Cut. I watch it ever so often. Man of Steel's next. And Suicide Squad is the least one that I like the most. It's the one I won't watch over and over again. But Man of Steel, I always watch it because I watch Man of Steel and then I go and watch Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut. Right? But I still think Man of Steel had a weakish ending. And Batman v Superman the Ultimate Cut was great. But again, it didn't hit all the beats in the usual traditional way, so that a lot of people would get enthused by it. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I'm still liking in Batman v Superman, don't get me wrong. But just the usual beats that you usually get in a movie, the usual pulses, it's not traditional like that. So I'm really looking forward to Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman looks like the one that's going to have the connective tissue. It's going to have the appeal of Suicide Squad, but it's going to have the connective tissue and the beats in the right places, such that I think conventional moviegoers are going to really enjoy this and be able to watch. The rewatchability for the average person who's not even into Wonder Woman, who probably didn't even like Wonder Woman or doesn't even care about the character, they're gonna come in and love the character. If they can get those beats correct, they can get the storytelling fluent, they can tell a hell of a story, and that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. Like Jody said, this movie is pivotal for so many different reasons. It's for women, it's for young girls, it's for International Women's Day just went recently. It's really that. It's really not just a movie. It's important as a sort of historical memorabilia. So it's very important they get this movie right. I don't care about the critics. If they want to like it, fine. But it's very important. It's a significant time in the history of the world right now. So it's very important to get Wonder Woman right. I don't even care about the future of the DCEU. That this movie is important just in and of itself. Like, if this wasn't a DCEU movie, it really still would have been important, because this is a superhero. They did remove Wonder Woman from the United Nations ambassador list, which I thought was stupid on the UN's part. You don't have to put somebody as an ambassador and take them down. They should have kept her as the ambassador for the United Nations, but it's all good. If this movie does what it's supposed to do, and it's supposed to be able to inspire people. It's supposed to, even if it ends in a tragedy, it's supposed to be able to inspire people. Remember, this is Wonder Woman looking back on her past. So it's supposed to be able to draw you in, pull you in. Hopefully, I'm hoping here, because the key here is hope. I'm hoping that this movie is able to empower disenfranchised women around the world. And if this movie can do that job, then it deserves to be United Nations Ambassador for Women. Because if Gal Gadot does a good job, if Chris, if I forgot what his name is, Chris, whatever his name is, I keep on thinking Chris Pratt. He's not. It's not Chris Pratt. If he does a good job on this movie, not only the acting is done well, and not just the acting, but the storytelling. Really, whether the actors do a good job or not, once the storytelling is great, and this is the clear theme of this movie comes forward, people lap it up and people love it, then this movie has done its job. Okay? But I'm absolutely impressed by Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I can't think of her as anything else. She seems everything like Wonder Woman. Her accent is like Wonder Woman. Her movements are like Wonder Woman. Her acting, her expressions, her behavior. This is what I think of when I think of Wonder Woman. I don't think of Wonder Woman as this woman trying to prove something to the world, and so she has to overcompensate by yelling very loud and stuff. She's very confident in herself about the world that she knows. Okay? And she can fight like crazy. Xena Warrior Princess, I wasn't really impressed with that that television show, because I didn't find Xena was more bark than bite. She was not as agile as this Wonder Woman. She was not as confident as this Wonder Woman, even though this Wonder Woman is still learning about the world that she's just entered. So there's just so much to this Wonder Woman that's totally different. This Wonder Woman also reminds me a little bit of Captain America, but Captain America was still a straight shooter. He was still straight cut. He kind of knew where he came from. He was more of a fighter than he was. He was a principled person, but he was a fighter more than he was a person who had caring values, nurturing values, heart, looking to help mankind. He was more of a soldier. So Wonder Woman's not just a soldier. Wonder Woman is a leader. Wonder Woman is an ambassador for love and truthfulness and kindness and all of these values. So Wonder Woman's just going to be a totally different superhero to any other superhero, especially in the fact that this is the breakout of the chief of all women superheroes that will ever come. This is the mecca of them. This is the greatest woman superhero you can ever have. It's Wonder Woman. She's very popular. Everyone knows her. And if Gal Gadot can capture that essence of Wonder Woman, which so far I've seen, it's just going to be remarkable. I mean, this is Wonder Woman you're looking at here. There's no if or buts about that. You know, I'm going to show you various iterations of Wonder Woman right now. Okay, so this is Wonder Woman as well. Okay, you can see that it is Wonder Woman, but you can see also that Gal Gadot encapsulates that. That's Wonder Woman. I mean, you can't get a better Wonder Woman than that. All right, you know, when you think Wonder Woman, you're thinking this is Wonder Woman. I mean, you know what I mean? So here's Wonder Woman again. Clearly, Gal Gadot is this woman here. I don't care if Gal Gadot isn't even seriously acting the part of Wonder Woman. She looks like Wonder Woman. You know, she looks like Wonder Woman, right? So, yeah, we got Wonder Woman, and I am really happy that the Wonder Woman that we're looking at is Gal Gadot. You know, everything about Wonder Woman is encapsulated in this Wonder Woman. Everything, you know. And that is very impressive. Very, very impressive. Now, every time I look at Gal Gadot, it's Wonder Woman I'm seeing. It's just so crazy because at first I didn't really think of her as Wonder Woman. I never really thought of her as Wonder Woman. Now, shoot, that definitely is Wonder Woman. I mean, there ain't no other way to say it. Right? There's Wonder Woman again. So, I am totally impressed with Wonder Woman, and looking forward to seeing Wonder Woman. There's Wonder Woman again. Definitely, that's Wonder Woman. It's definitely Wonder Woman. So cool. On that note, you guys have a great one.